All right, everybody. Today I've got a pretty exciting video for you. My kid's playing over there, so. Anyways, I have on the table two Type 56 SKSs. They are both 11 million serial number. So, as of 2019, I don't know how many thousands of SKS rifles came in from somewhere in Europe. They were in a neutral country for 20 years, so they were allowed to be imported. These are Type 56 SKS, they're Chinese models. Both of these have spiker bayonets, hammer forged chrome lined barrels, and I picked them up from two different places, and I kind of wanted to show you what you get. So if you are like on Arms List or something, you can ask where the guy bought his rifles and who was the importer, and kind of give you an example of what you're going to be getting with your two rifles. So the first one I'm going to show you is a good example of an SKS here. This is a grade 1 matching numbers from AIM Surplus. Now AIM Surplus did something really cool. They split their rifles up that they got into grades and split those two grades. Well, they had like 3 grades. They had X grade, which that sold out immediately, but they had grade 1, grade 2, and like an X grade, and they split those between matching numbers and non-matching numbers. So what we have here is a grade 1 matching number. This is basically the best example of an SKS you can get from the batch that they had. It's even got a matching number on the stock there. So everything is in good condition. There's very little bluing wear. It's only around the edges, on the butt plate, and on the front of the muzzle. Otherwise, it looks pretty much like what you'd expect from a gently used military-issued weapon from the 60s. So the other one I have is from Atlantic Firearms. Now, with Atlantic Firearms, they had matching numbers and non-matching numbers. So there was no grade 1, grade 2, anything like that. So with the AIM Surplus one, I got a really nice, good condition stock, good condition metal parts. With the Atlantic Firearms, they split it between matching numbers and non-matching. So you got what you got either way. Now you could request, hey, can I get something with a better condition or not in either category, but for me, what I got was, my first rifle from them was actually a really beat up SKS. It was completely in the gray, or in the white. There was no bluing left. The stock was totally black, oil soaked, and I think it had been run over because there was a malfunction with the magazine. I had cleaned it out, and the little lever, that pushes your follower up would not go vertical and trap the bolt hold open like that. And it wasn't an issue with the Cosmoline because I had cleaned it out to check it. So they sent me basically a non-functioning SKS at first. I contacted them, and their salespeople were excellent. They shipped this one back out to me, and I'm real happy with this one. Now I think this one had a replacement stock because it's just slightly wonky, which is really cool. But it's a beautiful piece of wood, but it's not the matching wood, I don't think. I really am suspicious. It's a different type of wood. You can see this is like a beech, and this is some kind of, I'm guessing, like an oak based on the different striations you have in the wood. Now this is still covered in the grease, so, but you can see the lighter stripes on it. It's a harder wood. You can just kind of feel, this feels a little less dense. It's still pretty hard, but on this one from Atlantic, it's a very hard, heavier wood. You can actually feel it's a lot heavier, but it's in excellent shape. There are no cracks or anything in the stock. So it's good on Atlantic. So anyways, I'm gonna kind of get into these two rifles and show you what you get. This is from AIM Surplus. Now if you're looking in the market, like on a secondhand, you're on Arms List or whatever gun broker, you can contact your seller and ask them, hey, where did you buy your SKS from? And if they bought it from an importer, they should be able to let you know when they bought it and who the importer was. And so these are kind of two examples, very common examples, AIM Surplus and Atlantic Firearms, of where they could have gotten their SKSs, so that you kind of understand, like, hey, this was imported in 2019. Here's an example of what I could get from them. So I'll go ahead, take this gun down so you can see it functions. Safety is up. Always remember to keep your safety on when you're disassembling your SKS. You don't want to have the safety off. So go ahead, yank the lever out, pull that off. You can see very good shape from the AIM Surplus, grade 1 matching. Very gently used. Go ahead and place it there. Recoil spring. It's packed with Cosmoline grease, but everything, all the blued pieces are still in really dark, good condition. I'll go ahead and take the bolt and carrier out. Here's my carrier. So it's got the matching number, and the bolt matches the number there. These are both in excellent shape. Firing pin moves freely in there. It's still gunked up with Cosmoline, but you see the inside of the receiver is nice and black. There's very little wear, only wear on the hammer. But as far as the inside of the receiver, this was probably barely ever fired. Maybe for training, I don't know. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like it was carried much either. It's in really good shape. I'll go ahead and take the gas tube lever up. Everything is also very firm and tight on this. I've had some other SKSs that were real loose in the different takedown locations. So go ahead. You gotta forgive me because everything's still in the grease. So, and I might not be able to yank this out. There we go. All right, so you can see the barrel is still dark. So take a look at the piston here. Piston looks brand new, hardly anywhere. It's not dirty like you would expect from a gun that was shot a lot. You see the condition of the gas tube, nice dark bluing. So yeah, this is basically as far as I'm going to take this gun apart. I really don't want to go any further, but you can see on the magazine well, it's nice and dark. This is a really well taken care of firearm. Very good condition. Very pleased with it. So if you're in the market, in the secondhand market, and you're like, hey, where did you get your SKS from whoever you're buying it from? If they say AIM Surplus, there's probably a good chance it was a good SKS, well taken care of. Should be no issues. Always remember to put your curly Q end in first. This little piggy cried wee 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 all the way home. And then you'll notice too on this little tab here, your tab, the little nub has to be facing down. There's a little pin there on that retainer pin that's stuck in there. That has to be up towards you. So when you put your cover back on, it will match up with the key on that cutout there. Go ahead, kind of push it forward a little bit and shove her back in. Again, you gotta forgive me, everything's slippery and gross. These are still both in their Cosmoline. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and lock it down. Alright. It's a nice, solid, good condition SKS. So that's grade 1 matching numbers from AIM Surplus. The customer service from AIM was excellent. They sent me a number on the serial number that was what I requested, 5. Good people over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this back up, just keep it from getting bumped around too much. So with the Atlantic Firearms, the second one they sent me, the replacement for the kind of beat up one that was non-functioning, I'm pretty happy with it, and I'll kind of explain why. So here we have the gun. Oh man, it's definitely a different type of wood because it's just holding it. It's really heavy compared to the other one from AIM. It's just a heckin' chonker. But the wood's in good shape. It's real dense hardwood. This locks back, good function. And so yeah, remember to keep your safety on. Pull your tab back and down. Let the top cover come off. Now you can see the difference here between the two top covers. This one has a lot of bluing wear. It's still gray, but it's kind of silvery. Whereas on the inside, you can see how much darker it is. So this one has been carried around a lot. Probably that's why it has a replacement stock. So you can see spring looks normal for an SKS, just a piggly wiggly. Take the bolt out. Bolt looks normal. It's a little bit dirty. Definitely some carbon in here. And it does match. You can see 15600 is the number for this gun. So they do match. The firing pin is still free floating. So we'll go ahead and look inside here. Now this is why I think this one was carried a bit but not shot a lot, because the inside of the receiver is still, there's only wear on the components that, you know, moved against each other. The receiver is not, I've seen some SKSs that were completely silver on the inside. So yeah, that's good to know. I looked down the bores of both of these weapons, and the rifling is crisp. It's in great shape. The chrome lining is not tarnished. It's they're just, you know, nice cut rifling. So the barrels are in good condition, which is good. So I'll go ahead and, now with this one, I can easily, with both the tabs, flip them up with my hands. So this was had a little bit more use in it. Go ahead. It's a little bit harder to pull out. There you go. But you can see the gas tube is in good shape. Piston. There you go. Piston's in good shape. Definitely packed with grease though. You can see the condition of the top of the barrel and the barrel moving forward. A lot more wear on this one, which is nice. It gives it a little bit of a nice color. But like I said, I looked down the barrels of both of these rifles and they were hardly ever shot. I think this one was carried around. I know, just based off of how the condition from the AIM surplus one looks, it wasn't carried much, but both came with cleaning rods, which is great. Some of these SKSs don't have cleaning rods, so it was nice to get a cleaning rod with both. And the bayonets worked great. Work how they should, so. Yeah, this definitely weighs a lot more than the other one. And the other one has its original stock. So, go ahead and put this back. Now, this should give you a good idea of kind of the condition of sort of the average, if you want a higher end SKS from this 2019 import batch of a Chinese SKS. The AIM surplus one that I showed you should give you an idea. This is sort of the average, I think, of what came in. Well carried, but gently used is my assessment. So I'll go ahead and so before I give my daughter any more trouble, yeah, I'll go ahead and reassemble this. And again, this one is a lot easier putting back together. Levers are nice and loosened up. It's not a pain to loosen, but yeah, so function's great. Customer service at Atlantic Firearms. What? Customer service at Atlantic Firearms is always excellent. So yeah, those are my 2 SKSs. Thank you for watching. I hope this was informative and kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect from these 2019 imports that just came in. These are both in the 11 million serial number range. So the one was 11 million. Let me see here. What was the 15600, and then this one was 60655. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I hope this was informative, and have a good day.